Hey guys, what's going on? I'm doing part 2 to the AlgoPro review that I just started the other day. This is an algorithm, so it's basically a bunch of indicators that you put on top of your TradingView charts, and hopefully they give you some insight and particular guidance into whether you should go long or short on the stock or any other thing. So they're really cool because they do crypto, futures, different commodities. So it's definitely worth checking out. Can really make your life a bit easier. So I'd ignored these types of algorithms or indicator systems for probably 5 to 10 years until I came across Lux Algo, which I don't really want to talk about today, but it's worth mentioning. Lux Algo is one of my favorite, so I wrote a whole review all about this right here. I'll leave a link in the description. You can come and check it out. You can see that the sell signals and the buy signals on the longer time frames are very reliable. A lot of people seem to get kind of grumpy with these things. I think maybe they expect too much from them. But on the longer time frames, a lot of these programs like Lux Algo and AlgoPro actually work really, really well in my experience. So come and check out Lux Algo. I have a coupon code in here, right down here, STA30. So if you go to the Lux Algo site and use STA30, you'll get 30% off your orders. Now it's worth pointing out that Lux Algo is a bit more expensive, well, considerably more expensive than the one we're talking about today, which is AlgoPro. Lux Algo, with the coupon code, you'll get for about $100 for 3 months, but you have to keep paying that as a recurring subscription. So the cool thing about AlgoPro is one of the things that I really like about it, is that it's only $150 lifetime. So no recurring fees, works out over the long term much cheaper than Lux Algo. I like both of them. AlgoPro's price obviously is really attractive. In the first video that I did on this, I talked about the first version of AlgoPro. This is like the manual that you get. So AlgoPro version 1. And so this is a really extensive program. There's all these different scripts that you put into TradingView. So each video I'm going to try and do one, just to try and keep it short. The last one I did was half an hour and I didn't even really go that deep. So today, this one hopefully will only take about 10 minutes to go through. Let's see. So what seems to have happened is they produced AlgoPro version 1.2 and they still kept version 1. So you get, first of all, you get 2 versions straight away. Then there's other versions that you also get, so I'll be going through those as well to see which one's best. So far I like AlgoPro version 1, which I talked about in the last video, part 1 of this series, because it's very straightforward. There's no customizing really, just kind of plug and play. AlgoPro version 1.2 has 1 or 2 really notable features which I really like, so I was going to talk a bit about those in this review. So this is AlgoPro version 1.2. It's put onto my TradingView chart right here. This is SPY on the 1 hour chart, and like I said, usually with these things you find that the most reliable signals are on the longer time frame. So if you try and trade on the 1 minute, which I was doing on Lux Algo, it is possible and it can work quite well, but it's definitely harder and not as reliable and consistent. So that's my recommendation, is to try the longer time frames, even if it's just going from 1 minute to 5 minute if you're intraday trading. 1 hour, 1 day, that type of it is really good. So and I'll show you some examples of that. So here's one. So SPY 1 hour chart. You can see a sell signal appeared here. So in this version of AlgoPro, you can see that the entry is marked with the gray line at the end of that candle right there. So we can zoom in. Try and zoom in a little bit. So you can see that this candle has to close before this entry confirms at 438.59. And then it marks the most optimal take profit targets as this drops, these green lines. And so you'd be out by about here. The stop loss you can see is also marked up here. Now, this is the default settings, and the default settings apparently seem to work quite well from what I've seen, but you can customize it. You can just click on here, and you can change this to whatever you like. So you can go up to there, and you can see they spaced out more, boxes in the way. But you could be more aggressive in terms of where you want to take profits. So you can change that. I just kept it on the default, which I think was 2.5. Yeah, like that. So that's one of the cool things. Lux Algo also has a system like this, but I thought this one was particularly good. It only shows it for current signals that's in play, so it doesn't show it for every single signal. The chart would become too cluttered. But you can see that you'd make a little bit of money. You probably hit your first target on this one. Then you probably come back down and stop out. So still a decent signal. This one for sure would have made money and all the way down. Just kind of showing you some of the different signals here. Not really like, picking anything in general, just scrolling until we see signals and let you guys decide whether you think this would be reliable or not. Not a lot of signals on the 1 hour on SPY. Here we go, here's a buy. This one would have been brilliant all the way up. You saw it kept going all the way up there, so pretty nice. So there's very few that actually fail. Remember, this is the 1 hour time frame. The sell would have been alright, probably would have got some profit down here and then stopped out on the rest coming back up. Just having a look. This one would have been pretty good. Probably would have stopped out though, just because I don't think that the profit target would have been hit. So you probably stop out for down here somewhere. So it wouldn't have been a great signal. This one would have been pretty sweet. Come down here. So you can see these are not like nonsense. Like these are pretty solid. So that's the 1 hour. Let's look at the daily really quick. So 1 day chart on SPY, there is a signal ongoing. You can see that the current signal hasn't stopped out yet. It's already went up through from the entry all the way through the profit targets, take profit all the way up to here. So most people should be out at this point. And this retracement obviously would have hopefully not hurt anybody. So good signal that's on, that's in play. So it's pretty cool. And these stay until the next signal shows up. This sell would work pretty nicely. This is a good one, I think. This will be a long green signal, yeah. So you buy here, and then just hold this all the way up here. Pretty nice, right? So people that tell you that these algorithms and things don't work, it might be because they're unrealistic, or it might be because the market's super choppy when they're testing them. Look at this signal straight down here from the sell. Or it might be that they're using too short time frames, because these signals clearly, they clearly work. Here's another one. You can see I'm not cherry picking, I'm literally just scrolling along. Here's another one, big drop, be nice. Not such a big win, but a decent signal. Big drop here. Who knows what would have happened? There's a chance that this wouldn't have triggered a take profit. I'm not really sure at this point. But this will probably be another long green signal as well. Yep. Yeah, so you can see this definitely works. However, things get more hairy when you drop to the 5 minutes. So let's have a look for the intraday traders. Oh, before I do that, let me just show you the other feature here. Let's go back to the 1 day. Actually, the 1 hour was a better example. So go to the 1 hour here. See this little box up on the right? It's kind of useful. You can change it to the size. Let me see so we can actually see it. So it's set to tiny at the moment. Let's put it to normal so I can see it real quick. There we go. Actually, look, since it's YouTube, let's put it to large so that it's more clear for people. Okay, so this is AlgoPro version 1.2. So this is the current signal that I showed you, which is the sell signal. And the trend is bearish still. And then it gives you the different time frames that things are bearish on. So you can see that over the short to medium, well, some very short day trading times, there's some bullish price action potential. But overall, we're very, very bearish still. So that's pretty useful, right? So this is a current position that's currently, the signal that I showed you. Here's the 1 day, so we'll do the same thing. The current position is a buy. But the problem is it's already, as I showed you, remember, it's gone through the profits and it's back on its way down. So you can see we've got all this bearish stuff coming. So AlgoPro is still saying everything's kind of bearish, so not the best. If you're long at least, which a lot of people are because the markets tend to go up over time. So let me just change this back to tiny because it kind of gets in the way actually using it. Alright, anyway, I was going to show you some day trading. So you can see that obviously on the daily, the 1 hour, even like the 4 hour, the AlgoPro works really well for these alerts. This one's not so good. This one's really good. This one, nice little move up. This is the 4-hour, by the way. It looks like the 1-hour and the daily are probably a bit better. This sell's not too bad, a bit choppy, but you get there. This buy's not too bad at all. So you can see like a lot of these work really well. However, when we change down on choppy days, and I'm not sure how choppy it is yet, but if we change down to the 5-minute, you immediately see the 5-minute signal works there, but let's try and get a bigger picture. So here we go. So here's the first losing trade. So this is a good example. The current position was a buy. It triggered an entry at 424.64 right here. It started to move up and then just tanked and hit the stop loss. So that would be a losing trade. A good example of a losing trade. But what we've seen is like that stop is much smaller than these profits. So kind of cool. Let's look and just see, get a feel for it. This sell, pretty good. This is the 5-minute, and then I'd say on the 5-minute default, I'd say there's less signals than Lux Algo, so I do like that because they seem to be a little bit better quality, but not as many of them as Lux Algo. I do like both these programs, by the way, just trying to compare them, and I also tried Elite Algo as well, which was my least favorite. So this one would have worked fairly well. Let's see where we're at. If there's a sell up here, we're going to be really doing well. There's a sell signal. Is there going to be a sell signal? Yes, there is. So a sell signal all the way up here. Just riding this thing down. This line here is pretty good as a guide for following if you break above or not. But that would have been an amazing 5-minute signal. So still scrolling along. This buy would have been a bit of a flop. Probably would have been about break even. Let's have a look. There's another great sell signal all the way down. Buy signal again. I guess because the market is kind of bearish, the buy signals are not doing quite so well as the sell signals are on these days. This sell would be kind of a flop, probably a break even. Generally, you'd exit for break even on these types of flat moves. Really interesting. This one, not too bad if you could have got this little, you could stayed in up to here. Not too bad. If there's a sell up here, which there is, this would be a nice slow win. Let's see. There's a buy at the start of this big green, and we're golden. There is, yep. So pretty nice all the way up here. Sell here all the way down. So you get my point. The thing works, and this is default settings, which is really cool. And so I would say 1.2 is probably a little bit better. Let's have a quick look at the guide again right here. And by the way, I'm putting all of this into the AlgoPro review. So if you want to see my other videos, they're going to be embedded right here, for example. This was the part 1, so you can go and watch part 1 on the website. I also put in a link here to get the AlgoPro for the best possible price. This is going to be a long series because there's a ton of indicators, but there's also bots involved with this, which is really cool. Haven't heard that many great things about the bots, so I'm still kind of holding off on that. It's going to take me a while to get to the automating these types of things, but it should be fun to try. Anyway, make sure in the link, there'll be a link in the description below, you go and check out the full review, because if you're watching this, there's likely to be a lot more videos embedded by the time you're watching this. There could be a series of 10 or 15 plus videos, all with the different parts and different sections of the AlgoPro. So the guide isn't super helpful in this. I basically went through what I'm seeing there. That's basically all you get. So really not a lot more to say about version 1.2, except I like it. I think it's good, and I think it's going to provide some good trading signals. One thing is we do have the Discord, which I don't know if I mentioned in the last video or not, but there is a Discord for AlgoPro for premium members, where people can discuss the bot stuff, the settings that they use, the scalper bot settings, Forex. People love to trade Forex with this. Crypto, there's support, all sorts of stuff, so it's pretty good. Overall, I'm really enjoying checking this out and looking at the different aspects of the AlgoPro system. Anyway, make sure you go and check out the reviews. I'll put a link to the Lux Algo, because I do think you'll enjoy that. I've done a ton of videos on it. It's a little bit more expensive than AlgoPro, but I'll also put my AlgoPro review in there. You can go and check out all my thoughts and more details on all aspects of AlgoPro in the description below. Hopefully it's helpful, and I'll talk to you guys soon.